Hello, and thank you all for joining us today for our live webcast, Unlock LinkedIn's Full Recruiting Potential. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Isabel Pryor, and I'm on the LinkedIn Talent Solutions team here in our Sydney office. Before we get started, I have a couple of housekeeping items. You're all muted by default, so if you have any comments or if you have any questions during the presentation, just send it to me through the Q&A box. And I will have time at the end. We have a dedicated Q&A session after the presentation where I will ask our presenters. And most importantly, we will be sharing the slides and also the recording from today's session with all of you. So keep an eye out in your inbox. You will receive an email where you can download the presentation and also a link to the recording so you can watch it again or you can share it with your teams. So keep an eye out for that. And now I'm happy to introduce you to today's presenters, Erin and Tegan from our customer success team here at LinkedIn.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for joining us today. Can you please explain a bit what you do here at LinkedIn and then get us started?
Great. Thanks, Isabel. So I'm Tegan. I'm from our customer success team here at LinkedIn in Sydney. And I've been with LinkedIn just for nearly a few years now. And I mainly work with our S&B customers, so ranging from small startups to more, established small businesses in Australia and New Zealand. And Erin and I are really excited to take you through the wonderful world that is talent solutions that we work in. And our solutions are really designed to help recruiters to be more productive and successful. And we're going to explore LinkedIn Recruiter, which is our flagship product, and also the job postings on LinkedIn. So I'll also hand over to Erin to introduce herself.
Thanks, Tegan. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Shilsworth, and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at LinkedIn, also based in Sydney. I've been with the organisation for close to 3 years now, and I've always worked in LinkedIn's Talent Solutions, and I have a recruitment background myself. And I'm really excited to take you through our flagship product of Recruiter today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we jump into the benefits of Recruiter, we want to give you an overview of the LinkedIn network because as you can see from the statistics here on your screen, it really is quite sizable. So we're now sitting at a member base of over 467 million. We have over 40 million student members, and we're the world's 17th most visited website. So a lot of you wouldn't be aware of some of those facts, but it's really interesting to see how much LinkedIn has grown from its inception over a decade ago. So 60% of access to our website is now via mobile devices, and we're still growing at roughly 2 new members per second. Our highest growth regions are in China and also in India as well. So for that reason, we have our website in over 24 different languages. So why do people come to LinkedIn? So for our members, and we have a members first policy here at LinkedIn, they're our most valuable resource. So our members come to our website to connect with their professional world, so your current contacts or your current peers where you currently work, people who you've previously worked with or perhaps studied with. People also come to the network to stay informed. So LinkedIn, for those of you who aren't aware, is now the world's biggest publishing platform. So there's an opportunity for people to share their own insights on their market or area of expertise, but also there's information that you can gather from other news sources as well. And people obviously come to the network to build their profile and build their professional brand so that they can share the professional side of themselves instead of, I guess, the more personal side that you may use other social networks for. So how we work with companies, there's several different solutions that we have across the LinkedIn business, and we just wanted to provide you some insights on what they are. So we have marketing solutions that help marketers distribute their brand at scale on our platform. We've obviously got the talent solutions that assist recruiters, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. But we also have a product for sales professionals that helps engage sales professionals with warm leads via our network also. So we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn's talent solutions in today's discussion. So our core product is the LinkedIn Recruiter product, and what LinkedIn Recruiter is designed to do is to help you find and identify that key talent that you need to grow your business. LinkedIn Recruiter also enables you to engage with that key talent once you've identified them, and we do that through our in-mailing platform, which we'll discuss in a bit more detail shortly. And we also, in Recruiter, can manage our prospects or our potential candidates through the recruitment lifecycle also within Recruiter. So as many of you are on the line, you may be recruiters yourself, and you may appreciate that the world of recruitment has changed from the old days where you used to just, I guess we used to be called paper shufflers. I've been in the industry for quite some time myself, and you used to be considered a CV matcher, or you were quite reactive to the market. These days, the recruiter has a role that's a lot more broad and all-encompassing. So not only are you a matchmaker, but you're also expected to be a marketer of your company's employment brand and value proposition. You need to sell that value proposition to prospective candidates and clients. You need to be an advisor to the business. And to advise the business, you need data and insights to be able to back up any recommendations that you're making to the business. And you also need technology that's going to be able to support you throughout that whole process. So the role of recruiter has definitely changed, and we feel that the LinkedIn Recruiter solution has evolved to support all the new facets of a modern recruiter.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about the key differences between LinkedIn.com and LinkedIn Recruiter. So, firstly, LinkedIn.com is really your personal side of the network. And this is where you have your professional identity, as Erin took us through, and really access and build your network. And this is where your personal professional profile sits, where you can build that network, whether it be colleagues, people within the industry, and then participate in groups and get the latest news. So what happens here stays here, and it stays with you whenever you move on or up in your organisation as well. So everything here is yours. Now, LinkedIn Recruiter, on the other hand, this is really the company side of the network, and it is a separate software that sits on top of your profile. So this is how you access that network of 467 million members that Erin took us through. And this is where you can start to really refine talent pools, look for that target talent that you're looking to hire, be able to engage with them on the LinkedIn Recruiter network by using the messaging system that we have, and you get included emails in that, as well as post your jobs and manage your talent pipeline. So it's really an all-encompassing platform designed for recruiters and to manage all your candidates in one place. So whilst you do have your LinkedIn.com profile still, this is a separate profile that sits with the company, and that IP is owned by the business as well. So the next generation of LinkedIn Recruiter, this is being designed to help, as we said, recruiters and hiring managers to be more productive and successful with hiring top talent. And Recruiter really allows you to directly search on all these million members of profiles and refine your results to create custom talent pools in seconds. Manage a shortlist and collaborate with hiring managers, and be able to use the data and analytics that LinkedIn has to uncover those those hidden gems that may be ideally looking to work in your business, but being able to uncover those for you, and then able to prioritise the warmer leads, those people that are more likely to be engaged with your business or respond to your contact as well.
So let's take a look at some examples of what Recruiter might look like for you. So Within Recruiter, you can either type a position name or a person that you have within your business that you're looking to replicate. So with our search functionality, it's really quite easy and a seamless experience. So with our guided search, it will prompt you or offer up suggestions or recommendations based upon the criteria that you're entering into your search bar. So gone are the days of when you used to have to use Boolean to really dig down and refine your searches. Now with our refined search criteria, LinkedIn Recruiter makes it a lot more intuitive, and you don't need to be a Boolean expert or even a recruitment expert to be able to use this functionality. So once you've typed in a position, a name that you're looking for as an example, and you hit search, now we also have a screen share here of what your search results might look like and what you can actually do to refine and hone in on that talent that you're trying to find. So with our smart suggestions here, you can see down the left-hand side, we have over 45 refinement filters that you can actually use to refine down to find that hidden talent. So Recruiter is intuitive, so the more that you use it, it will track your previous usage and it will actually make recommendations and suggestions to you. And this is a really easy way, again, for you to be able to hone in on specific skill sets, locations, experience, qualifications, any one of those 45 refinement filters that you can utilise to find your key talent. Further to that, we have a Spotlight functionality, and this Spotlight functionality enables you to target prospects or candidates that are more likely to respond to you or engage with you when you reach out to them via an email. And we highlight these spotlights at the top of your search bar here, and it's based upon people who have engaged with your talent brand on LinkedIn or perhaps have previously replied or applied to a job. So you'd probably want to engage with those warmer leads in the first instance when you've returned your search results. Now, part of the next, I guess, the iteration of recruitment that we've seen over the years is that the business wants to leverage you as being able to provide insights into the talent pools that the business needs to leverage. So we've identified this important role that you now play as recruiters within your organisation, and Recruiter has developed a product called Search Insights that basically provides you with a visual talent map of the talent pool that you're looking to address, and you can use this talent map to have discussions with your business about what the addressable market for your particular talent segment is. You can use these search insights to further hone down on specific skill sets, locations, perhaps previous companies or organisations that this talent pool has worked in before. So it's really giving you data to provide back to your business and to make smart decisions about the addressable market that you're looking to engage with. And finally, one of the other key functions that we wanted to share with you was our intuitive jobs. So unlike other job boards that you may already be using or engaging with, jobs on LinkedIn actually match the criteria that you enter into the job description, and it shares your job with prospective profiles on LinkedIn.com. So some of you may have noticed this functionality when you've scrolled through your profile previously. It's called Jobs You May Be Interested In, and that's because what LinkedIn Recruiter has done, it has matched your profile with the information provided in the company's position description. Further to this, Recruiter, when you post a job, actually serves up 50 profiles that match the position that you are posting. So as soon as that posting goes live, Recruiter will make 50 profile matches or recommendations to you. So you've got an automatic long list of prospects that you can start working through and start discussing with your business. So they're just some of the key highlights of the functionality within Recruiter. But now Tegan is actually going to take you through a live demonstration within the tool itself.
Perfect. Thank you, Erin. I'm just going to switch over to our demonstration now. And I'll probably start off with the job postings first, just to take you through where that functionality sits and how easy it is to post a job. And then we'll walk through how to run those searches, use all the smart suggestions, and also the search insights that Erin touched on as well. So that should just be loading for us now. So this is the Recruiter tool live. So this is what it looks like once you access this separate software. And everything now is separate from our own personal LinkedIn.com. To access the jobs, it's just simply up in your jobs tab and able to post a job. And I just want to show you that that matching criteria that Erin mentioned around how we really push your jobs out in front of the most relevant audience that's going to be suitable for your job. So it's not just about having, active candidates look at your roles. It's also about having that passive talent as well. And with having over 105 million members here in Asia Pacific, you're able to tap into those candidates and be able to get your opportunity in front of the most largest audience possible. So it's simply just by typing in your company name, I'm just choosing LinkedIn there, and being able to select your title and location. Once you've selected that detail, it's then about filling in that criteria that LinkedIn's then going to use to match your job with those relevant candidates. And as Erin mentioned, the way that this works is we look at the job functions that have been selected, we look at the targeted industries, and these are the ones that have already been pre-selected, but as you'll be able to see, there is actually a long list of industries and job functions that you can choose from. And once you have chosen those, including the keywords within your job description, as well as the employment type, seniority level, we're going to take all of that data and then we're going to match this job with the most relevant people on LinkedIn. And that way we're getting your job in front of not only the active talent market, but also those passive job seekers as well. And you may have noticed those the email notifications, perhaps also in the job, the news feed, as Erin mentioned, top jobs recommended for you. So regardless of whether candidates are looking for work, we're going to be pushing those opportunities out to them regardless. So it's pretty much just filling out all the details, choosing from the drop-downs, and then your job posting is live. You're then able to access those 50 profile matches and also live data and analytics just through the Managed Jobs portal that you see just at the top here. So now looking at flipping this process, so I want to take you through really the most powerful element of the Recruiter tool, and that is the search capability that we have access to. So being able to search on all 467 million members globally, regardless of how many people I'm individually connected to. So with the search bar, we're able to either search by job title. We can use Boolean as Erin mentioned, but it's not a prerequisite to use. Or you could also model a search of a specific candidate. But for an example today, let's do a job title search, and I'll show you how easy it is to be able to bring up a short list within seconds. So I'm going to pop in a title here. I'm going to look at a finance manager. I'm just selecting from the drop down there. It's already predicting titles that I could use. And then I'm going to select the location, and in this example, this role is located in Brisbane. Straight away, we're seeing not only the total addressable market at the top, but we can also see trending skills based on the data that I've already selected. So of finance managers in Brisbane, these are the top trending skills for that title. I can also see the total addressable market when it comes to total candidates, and then the spotlight features that Erin took us through around being able to prioritise those candidates that you may have more success with around having a warm introduction to them through a shared connection, perhaps people that are more engaged with your talent brand and so forth, which I'll take you through in a few moments. Now, as we said, there's over 45 different filters that you can choose from, so I'm not going to limit it to any of these particular skills right now. I'm going to hit go and show you through how you can bring up that list of 7,000 candidates. Now, it's obviously quite a lot of candidates to start reviewing, and that's why we really want to use not only the filters to refine the requirements based on the criteria of this role, but also be able to use the spotlights that we mentioned as well to really prioritise down on those people that we're more likely to have a response and engagement from. So over on the left-hand side, we can start to see that the smart suggestions are being utilised here on the left-hand side. So I can start to see other titles that I may want to use in my search. As an example, this is a finance manager, but it's quite a small business I'm recruiting for. So we may also want to include financial controllers in our search, maybe even a finance director. It could even be CFO. It's endless in terms of the opportunity to include or exclude titles. Based on what you're looking for, it's nice and easy just to add additional titles without even having to think about what they could have been. In addition to this, we can add additional locations, skills. We can also search on particular companies. So whether this be a set of industry peers that you would like to look at their talent and have a look at the market and what that looks like. Otherwise, you can look on education, industries, or even just particular keywords. And this is really where you can start to refine that list, and depending on your criteria, you can choose any of these filters. And I'll just sort of show you here, if I was to add in an industry here, I might use construction as an example. This is now going to filter my refinements to candidates that match these job titles in these locations with the industry construction. And we can start to see that this list is really starting to refine and become a lot more manageable. In addition to the filters, as I mentioned, we now have the opportunity to leverage these spotlights up the top. And the spotlights are really about now prioritising those 356 candidates and where to focus our efforts first. So firstly, one of my favourites is open to opportunities, and this might have been a feature that you've seen on your own profiles. And effectively, this section allows us to zone in on the candidates that have actually opted in to say to recruiters anonymously that they're actually interested in opportunities. So now if you have a recruiter license, you're able to see this data. We do exclude you from seeing anyone in your own business that you work for, but you will be able to see anyone else in the market, which is really handy, and you're able to then know exactly what these individuals are looking for. And then there's also additional spotlight. So yes, there's also, how many people are connected to your employees at your company, to this talent pool, but also additional filters just on the right-hand side, including ones such as engage with your talent brand, which shows people that have publicly engaged with your business on LinkedIn, whether that be viewing a job, perhaps they're a company follower of yours on your page, or they've interacted with a post on your company page as well. So again, a great resource to be able to prioritise that list and not have to sort of start wondering how I'm going to sift through all these 356 profiles as an example. From here, you've also got the search insights section. So you'll notice just at the top of your search results, this is where you can access that search, the search insights that Erin mentioned. And this is gaining additional intel on what your talent pool looks like, and a really visual representation of that as well. It is a dynamic reporting tool, so you're able to compare different areas such as experience, education, location, or you can compare all the sections here, and you're able to break down what your talent pool looks like, see trends in perhaps the years of experience, the study, what schools they've trained in, as an example. Anything that you click on the report, it is a dynamic report, as I mentioned, and you're then able to look at the data based on what you're clicking. So I can perhaps focus in on particular companies, or perhaps I just want to look at people that have studied accounting, because that's really important. And now I'm able to modify the search insights based on that particular talent pool that I've selected. The search insights is a great way to be able to have more data-driven conversations with your hiring managers and be able to go back to them on, on the data that you found and present back to them what your findings were. The great thing as well that you can PDF or print these documents as well, so you can really take that away and have that conversation. But just coming back to the search results, the idea from here is once you've filtered your results down, you've got a manageable list of candidates, you're really liking the look of your candidates because you've now made all those refinements. You can now start adding people to your project. So your project would be like your shortlist, and now you can add those people to the project. I've prepared one earlier, which is handy, so I'm just going to show you what that looks like from a project perspective. So let's imagine that we've already ran through this list. We've found a number of candidates that we'd like to focus in on, and we just come up to the Projects tab, click on our project that we've created, and now we'll be able to see all those candidates that we've been able to shortlist and manage their details as well. So we can see that it's a really nice view of being able to manage them, see when you added their profiles. You can add notes, you can add a lot of other features to help keep yourself organised and keep everyone up to date with where you're at in your talent pipeline. From here, you can also leverage hiring manager functionality to be able to share your project with a hiring manager on LinkedIn, and that allows you to be able to digitally share your shortlist. And regardless of whether your co-worker or your hiring manager has a LinkedIn recruiter license, they'll be able to have access to this project and review the profiles and give you live ratings. The other feature from here is being able to message your candidates at scale. So for your prospects that you have come across, you may want to look at putting together a message for the potential candidates, and then put together a message that you can reach out to them to see if they're interested in your opportunities. And you can see the example here is I can actually use a mail merge functionality to actually send a personalized one-to-one email, but it actually is being sent at once. So a great time-saving feature that you're able to contact candidates at scale and be able to really save yourself time and not have to send individual contact. And that's using the in-mail capability that LinkedIn has. So you get 150 emails with the LinkedIn Recruiter license, and that's for the corporate edition. And they do roll over for 90 days at a time. So if you don't use all your emails, you do have them for up to 3 months that will roll over for you. So that's really, I guess, the recruiter workflow 360 process. So from running that initial search, being able to refine your results, use the spotlight features, and then be able to organise your prospects into a project folder and be able to then collaborate with hiring managers or be able to extend a message directly to those candidates. So we're going to perhaps wrap up there. I hope that's been a really intuitive overview of the product. We've really only sort of scratched the surface in terms of what the tool can be capable of, but it's certainly just going to be dependent on what you're looking for and using what refinements make sense for your business. But we're going to go to questions now. Yeah. So we'd love to hear from you if you have any feedback or any questions that you may have.
Great. Thanks for the presentation and demonstration. That was great. Just like Tegan said, if you have any questions on any of the presentation or the demonstration specifically on LinkedIn Recruiter, just use the Q&A box. So if you click at the little Q&A tab at the bottom, you'll see a box popping up, and you can send me through your questions. I'll kick off with a couple that came through during the presentation, but we'll take some more as well. So one of the questions was, I guess it was more on the first bit when we talked about the LinkedIn profile as opposed to LinkedIn Recruiter. It's just a question on, do people know when I'm looking at their profile? So I guess if you use it like your normal LinkedIn profile or probably also Recruiter and you're looking for candidates, can people actually see that I've visited their profile?
Good question. When you're in Recruiter, any activity that you do is invisible to the member. So if you're looking at a member's profile via Recruiter, then that person has no idea that you're reviewing their information. The only time somebody will know that you've probably reviewed their profile is when you reach out to them with an email, but that's obviously a deliberate communication that you're sending through to them. So unlike LinkedIn.com, everything is invisible within Recruiter.
Great, thanks. And then another question, again, the normal LinkedIn Premium account and LinkedIn Recruiter, what's the difference between searching with my Premium account and searching with LinkedIn Recruiter?
Yeah, great question. So LinkedIn.com, you have the capability to search up to your third degree network. So that's based on my connections, and their connections. So whilst you may have quite a large network with your third degree, the LinkedIn Recruiter tool will be able to extend to every single profile. So you've got no limitations on the number of candidates that you'll be able to see within your network. It's complete, unprecedented access to all LinkedIn profiles globally. You may just want to focus your efforts on a certain location, but you do have that access to be able to search on every single profile worldwide, which is a great tool.
Great, thank you. I actually had multiple questions coming through regarding LinkedIn Recruiter integration with applicant tracking systems. So I'm just going to wrap them all into one. How is that looking? Can you integrate it with an applicant tracking system?
Yes, you can, but it does depend on the applicant tracking system that you have. If you do purchase a Recruiter solution and that is something that you want to pursue, you can discuss that with your relationship manager and they'll be able to guide you as to whether the ATS that you have does have that integration capability.
Great, thanks. And then there is a question asking, is it possible to score a candidate?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways that you can, I guess, rate candidates. So the first would be, as the Recruiter user, there is what's called talent pipeline features. So if I just go into our project that we were just working on now, I'll just show you how you, as a Recruiter, can, I guess, less rate, but I guess keep up to date as to where candidates are at. So you can actually use what's called statuses to apply to each candidate. So you can see here I can change the status to say offer, background check. You can customize these as well. So if you're wanting to, I guess more so organize your candidates, you can do that. On the other hand, when you do share your projects with a hiring manager, they are able to rate the candidates for your own benefit. So once you share the project, the hiring manager will then be able to have access to all the profiles in that particular project. They then can rate the candidates and you can customize those options that they get, but the standard ones are good, great and ignore. They can then select from those options, and then you'll be able to see in this review column just in the middle here, you'll be able to see those reviews that they've given you. So it might be, Timothy might be great, Monica might be good, Vanessa might be ignore. So then you're able to instantly know who to prioritise or reach out to in that matter.
Great, thank you. And then maybe another question. Oh yeah, how do you manage the candidate database once responses start to come back for the role you want to fill?
Sure. So there's several ways that you can do this, and it really depends upon the processes that you already have in place within your organisation. If you're using LinkedIn Recruiter as your database, then as Tegan referred to before, you can actually have statuses that you can adjust against a profile as you walk them through or map them through the recruitment process. However, if you have an existing ATS, you obviously don't want to duplicate your efforts. So what I see a lot of my clients do is they'll reach out to prospects via email. Then when the prospect expresses an interest in the particular opportunity that they've reached out to them to, that's when they will transition their details through to their ATS. If you have integration, that can obviously be quite a seamless process. And that's a much easier way of avoiding duplication of effort and having to record the process that the candidate is going through in multiple sources.
Thank you. Great. Another question: Can you post photos on your job ads? Can you add photos?
Unfortunately, you can't apply a photo. All the job ads are a template, just to keep that standardisation and provides equal opportunity for every employer. However, what I would recommend is that once you have posted a job ad on LinkedIn, that you share that job on either your company page or with your own networks, or perhaps even the hiring manager's network. And with status updates or company updates, you actually can get a little bit more creative by adding images or photos to make your post a lot more enticing. So I'd really recommend looking at that as an option after you post your job.
Great, thank you. And then a question, is LinkedIn Recruiter worthwhile for small businesses who simply want to market themselves better? We are not looking at employing new people, just getting our name out there. What do you suggest there?
Yeah. Well, look, I work in with our SMB customers, and sometimes there aren't sort of great hiring needs at sort of certain stages of your business life cycle. It's probably not the best tool then if you're not actively recruiting. I'd probably suggest more of our branding options around our career page options that we have, or sponsored updates to be able to really get your talent brand out there for when you do have potential hiring needs down the track. I will just note that you can have job postings without having the recruiter tool license, so they aren't a joint product. You can purchase them separately. So if you are just wanting to do the occasional hiring, it may be best that you just look at the job postings and some branding to help really amplify your talent brand.
Thank you. A question just came in that goes in a similar direction. Can you embed video for employer branding as part of the job posting? I guess it goes in the same direction, but doesn't really go with the job post.
One of the features I just mentioned, branding. So we have what's called our career pages, or you might see a life pages on LinkedIn, and that's really around an employer's talent brand, and it's a dedicated page that gives prospective candidates a really good feel of what it's like to work for your business. There is video content that you're able to upload on these pages, and they will actually filter below your job posting. So whilst you won't be able to customize a specific video per job, you are able to have videos on this page at any given time, and it is the first place someone will land after they view your job ad.
Great, thank you. Another question that came in was, can the profile be shared with more than one hiring manager?
Yes, it can. That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Yes, you can share profiles with multiple hiring managers as long as they have a profile on LinkedIn.com. So your hiring manager, yes, has to have a profile before you can actually share that with them.
And per recruiter license, you do get up to 20 accesses to provide. So you can actually transfer them to perhaps other people if you've reached your 20 accesses that you've already given out. So you can swap them around if you do need to provide them to other managers as well.
Yeah, thanks. And another question, I think touched on your demonstration earlier. Is there any way to filter out candidates that only have additional info or contact contact in their profiles. For example, some candidates have contact for job opportunities. I guess that was one of the criteria you could set to filter. Can you explain that?
Search, yeah, sure, great question. So you can search on candidates that have mentioned that they're open to opportunities. So this is where on their personal LinkedIn.com profile, they've elected to share privately and anonymously with recruiter users that they're interested in opportunities. So you're able to use those spotlights that we mentioned. So if you were to run a search and you then brought up the search results, one of the spotlights is open to opportunities, and you can then just filter out to those candidates only and then reach out to them with your opportunities.
Great, thanks. I might just take one last question. I'm a manager. If I give LinkedIn Recruiter to my team, how can I tell whether they are using it? So is there any way of reporting? How can I see
great
that?
question. Obviously, if you purchase one of these solutions, you want to make sure that your team are using it. So we do actually have a full suite of reporting within Recruiter that you can access. So you can look at the, as you can see, Tegan's highlighted there, you can look at recruiter usage. So some of the statistics that sit within inside that are around, how often the individual is logging in, how many profiles they're reviewing, how many emails they're sending. They're just some of the stats that we cover. There's also pipeline analytics, so how are your prospects being managed through a pipeline process. There's job analytics, so really interesting information around how your jobs are performing. And the type of demographic that they're hitting, or the type of people that are viewing your jobs as well. And then there's also a more in-depth report around your in-mails. So, the types of talent that you're targeting, which types of organisations do they sit in, what type of response rates are your recruiters getting to their outreach. So, yeah, very detailed insights that you can use as a hiring manager to manage your team against.
Great, thanks. Unfortunately, we don't have much time left, and we did have a lot more questions coming through, so I'd suggest for everyone who really wants to find out more, who has more questions, or wants to find out about costs for licenses, just look out for the email that's coming in with the recording. There'll also be contact us for more information, so just click on that and someone from LinkedIn will get in touch and you can ask more detailed questions specifically for your organization, how you can best use it. Again, we will share the slides from today's presentation and also the recording, so if you've joined later, you've missed the beginning, you can watch it again and you can also share it with your team. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks, Erin, and thanks, Tegan, for today. That was great, and hope you can join us next time.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.